In this video we'll be talking about the user input in Rust. So user input is the basic and the most important thing in any program language. So let's see how you can take the user input from the Rust. Now I'm going to define an empty string. So let's say input is equals to string new. So this is a blank string vector. Now in the std create in the IO library, we have a function called read line. We are going to use that to read the entire line. So IO std in dot read underscore line. We also have other functions like read end to string. We will be looking at those functions in the file IO. Now we need to pass a mutable string. We need to make this as mutable and pass this mute input dot unwrap. Now this will read the entire string, entire line as a string and place this in input. So let's say enter something. Now here let's go and print that input. So this is the input. Now let's go and run this one, and we can see the cursor is froze. That means we have to enter something. So hi, hello world. Now we can see we got the same output. Now we can say enter a number. This will also be read as a string. So we don't want that. What we want to do is we want to convert this into integer. So we can do that using let num is equals to, we can parse this input. So input dot parse, and we can modify into the I32. Now this has the result enum. We can say unwrap. This will throw the value into the num. Or we can do is dot expect. We can say expected number. So what this means is whenever we have typed number, it will be passed as a number and it will be stored in the num variable. If you enter any string and this parse has been failed, then the program will throw a panic with this message. So let's go and print this one. So let's say num. So let's run this. So I'm giving the number 22. So expected number, I think there is the new line here. So what we can do is we can say input dot trim. So this will trim any null bytes at the end or any slash or slash n at the end. Now let's go and input the number, and we can see the 22 has been reflected. Now let's go and run this again. If I go and give the characters ABC, now it will throw a panic expected number. So parse int error. So this is the one of way to panic the program with a message. Now let's see how to read multiple numbers and throw that in a vector. So let's say let mute v1 is equals to, we need to specify the type. So let's say type of string vector. So enter number of numbers. Now we are going to enter a number, let's say 10. Then that means you need to enter the 10 numbers afterwards. So for I in 0 dot dot num. Now what we need to do is we need to take the input. So IO std in dot read line ampersand mute. Now we need to let's declare a temporary string. Let mute temp is equals to string new, and we are going to throw the input into this temp variable, temp dot unwrap, and we are going to push this string slice into this vector. Sorry, it's also a string, not a slice. And finally we are going to print the entire vector. So what we have done here is we are taking a number as an input, and we are reading those many inputs. So let's say enter those numbers. So let's run this. So if I say 4 numbers, then the input will go on for 4 times. So I can say 5, 6, 7, 8, and now we can see here there is the crlf carriage return line feed at the end. We can trim those as well. So we can say temp dot trim and dot to string. So we want to make this string because we are storing the vector of type string. So let's run this, and now let's say 4 numbers. We have to enter those 4 numbers, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we can see we got these numbers. We can also change this as i32, and we can parse this as i32 as well. Oh, we need to unwrap this one. Now we are good to go. So let's run this again. Enter 3 numbers, 100, 200, 300. Now these are stored as numbers. So that's all about the user input in Rust.